Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants of the 2022 QS Higher Ed Summit Middle East and Africa. I feel honored and delighted to take part in this event. I'd like to thank the QS organizing team for this opportunity. The overall theme of this summit is about innovation in higher education. My name is Ali Elquammah, and I'm a director here at HEM Morocco. My talk will cover bridging the academia industry gap. I will start my talk by listing some of the challenges faced by higher education institutions, HEIs, in the MEA region. I will zoom on a particular dichotomy that is credentials versus competencies or skills. I will bring in the concept of innovation in current higher education models that puts an emphasis on execution as a solution to bridging the industry academia gap. I will share my thoughts on how bridging HEIs with industry could be achieved. And finally, uh, I'll close my talk with how HEM tackles the question of closing the gap academia and industry. So, what challenges HEIs are facing in the MEA region? HEIs in MEA region operate in the midst of several dichotomies. The education process consists of a complex set of factors and actors at multiple levels. Factors outside the education system, political, economical, and social, formally and informally interact with the education system and shapes its outcome. Talent shortages have become more pronounced, underpinned by outdated education systems. There is a particular shortfall in digital skills, especially in Africa, as technology disrupts labor markets. There's a lack of adequacy of tertiary education to meet the needs of employment. Business leaders in the MEA region continue to report difficulties when searching for individuals who can fill vacancies in their enterprises. Um, in fact, education in MEA has been held back by behavioral norms and ideological polarization, which are embodied in four sets of dichotomies: credentials and skills, discipline and inquiry, control and autonomy, tradition, and I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, tradition and modernity. These challenges have held education back from evolving to deliver learning that prepares students to their future. They exist to varying degrees in each country, and they largely define social and political relations. They are at the heart of the current national discourses on education reforms. One of these dichotomies that is linked to my talk on bridging academia and industry gap is the one regarding credentials and skills. A credential in the form of a degree, diploma, or certificate is usually associated with acquiring a specific set of skills. In the labor market, credentials signal productivity based on the assumption that more years of education are associated with higher productivity. Throughout the MEA region, public sector employment was historically guaranteed to anyone with a sufficient education credentials. Governments in the MEA region are the biggest employers, bigger than the private sector. Thus, checking the credential box became more valued than acquiring skills. As a result, there is a little or no link between education credentials and skills in the MEA region. The same goes for weak links that exist between academia and industry. Overemphasis on just getting credentials in the form of degrees leads to memorization and passive learning. Across the MEA region, curricula depend heavily on memorization, leaving little time for the development of critical thinking skills. Although discipline is important, too much may constrict students' abilities to learn, think, explore ideas, or question concepts. Uh, so that's where we actually bring in innovation as an important solution to this equation. Now, given the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity environment, what we call the VUCA environment that our students, soon to be actors in the real world, will be destined to operate in, brings me to stating that there will be no escape for the current higher education institutions in the MEA region to make innovation in every aspect of their business model. I'll share with you some thoughts about the difference between innovation and creativity. Why are we talking about innovation and not creativity only? Well, innovation is about creativity, is about unleashing the potential of the mind to conceive new ideas. Innovation is about the act of turning new and creative ideas into reality. It is the ability to perceive the world in new ways, to find hidden patterns, to make connections between seemingly unrelated phenomena, and to generate solutions. Theodore Levitt puts it best. What is often lacking is not creativity in the idea creating sense, but innovation in the action producing sense, i.e., putting ideas to work. We like to think of an organization's capacity for innovation as creativity multiplied by execution. We use multiplication rather than sum because if either creativity or execution has a score of 0, then the capacity for innovation is also going to be 0. Thomas Edison, a man of about 1,000 inventions at his credit, puts it well. He says innovation is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. The 1% refers to the inspiring ideas you might have, and the 99% refers to what it will take to execute them. Creativity needs to be coupled with execution for it to be counted as value adding innovation. Creating an innovative state of mind begins with the foundation of knowledge, the learning of discipline, the mastering of a whole brain thinking. We learn to be innovative by experimenting, exploring, questioning assumptions, using imagination, and synthesizing information. Learning to be innovative requires practice to develop the right muscles and a supportive environment in which to flourish. Well, what are we going to do? Stephen Covey, the author of Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, puts it best. He said, to learn and not to do is really not to learn. To know and not to do is really not to know, right? Higher education institutions need to foster experiential learning, which means constructing interactive experiences and provoking unorthodox responses to see what insights emerge. HEIs in the MEA region need to prepare their students for the future by iterating uh, and redesigning their programs to get out ahead of industry trends and current um, develop content that carries not only immediate relevance but also offering lasting and even lifetime value. They need to explore ways in which you know curriculum may be redesigned to include managing a global context, leadership, development, innovation, critical thinking, and experiential learning. As you can see in this model on your right here, the KDB model that was actually designed by Professor Datar Srikant, who's now the current dean of Harvard Business School, and then whom I met back in 2012 in Lagos Business School. He was talking about the importance of institutions having the knowing, the doing, and the being. And I enriched actually his model by adding inspiring and also by adding networking. HEI's mission should go beyond just disseminating the knowledge by creating bridges with industry that will allow the learners to experience the doing, the being, the inspiring, and the networking. They need to reinvent their models to become competency-based, not course-based. In a competency-based education, it's about what you know and are able to do, not how long it takes you to master the course material. There are different ways of collaboration between HEIs and industry. Uh, they could create bridges HEIs could create bridges with industry through research collaboration, through entrepreneurial collaboration, through win-win partnerships, and through executive education collaboration. Then there comes the HEM case, and what do we do to tackle this question of bridging academia with industry? Just a little word, some few words about HEM. HEM is the largest business school in Morocco with 4 campuses spread throughout the larger cities in Morocco. It was created back in 1988. Its mission is to train and support future ethical leading African citizens, accomplished, proactive, capable of acting in complex environments by mobilizing multidisciplinary faculty and administrative staff armed with innovative pedagogy and applied research. As you can see in the mission here, you see acting, proactive, innovative pedagogy, applied research. We're more into more pragmatic models, okay? And the values in the 5 values that underpin HEM philosophy and culture, we would find innovation as the 3rd value. And in the way we define innovation is to anticipate, to be receptive to changes, to dare to change, to be source of value creation by doing otherwise. I don't want to bore you with numbers, but the numbers I want to talk about are concern directly my talk about the bridging industry and academia. In our part-time faculty, we have consultants and professionals, CPAs, CFOs, or bankers come and teach, especially our or graduate students or master level students. And of course, we have more than 56 effective partnerships signed with corporations, along with uh, different other activities done with hundreds of other corporations with which we have no really effective signed partnership. We have these building blocks at HEM. As you can see, the blocks that I circled are the ones that actually allow for bridging the gap. You have entrepreneurialism, internships, quality applied research, innovative teaching, executive education. And what we mean by entrepreneurialism is beyond just entrepreneurship. It's actually a state of mind of being an entrepreneur. Whether you're gonna own your own business or you work for a company, you're still gonna need to have this entrepreneurship state of mind. Well, research and industry, as you can see, I circled the fact that our research center, Elquammah, has about 70 partnerships, doing all kinds of research work, whether it's field studies or writing business case studies, or doing some consulting work or solving real business problems. As you can see, The bridge between research and industry is come into a form of partnerships. The research partnerships established with major Moroccan operators like LIDEC, CDG. Some examples: the work carried out for 3 years with LIDEC, which is a water and sanitation delegate of Grand Casablanca, on the socioeconomic impact of companies on the metropolis, and the work that is underway with the Regional Investment Center of Marrakesh on territorial management fall within this framework. Like you said, like you can see here, there is what we call a two-way highway, where actually research feeds into industry and industry feeds to research. Funding a chair, for instance, related to local issues increases brand awareness for the company and allows for additional resources to the schools. Academia and industry could form a learning organization through applied research projects. You have executive education bridging academia with industry. Morocco hosts several multinational companies that often have vast needs in executive education to better integrate recent recruits into their corporate culture, to better integrate teams of different cultural backgrounds, to train local hires towards appropriate skills. Special programs are designed at HEM to meet these needs. As you can see in here, you have different programs that we offer with in partnership with different international schools to our learners from the corporate world, along with the degree and non-degree, as you can see, with the aim of supporting the strategic and organizational changes of both private companies and public administrations, and the aim of contributing to their development and enhancement of their human capital. HEM offers degrees and non-degree executive education. Also, HEM has an alumni network. We use the alumni database of contacts to send out communication about our executive education and lifelong learning programs and certificates. The Department of Corporate Relations keeps an internal CV database of HEM graduates and uses social networks to stay connected with alumni communities. There is the entrepreneurial collaboration. Like I said, we in a form of HEM Starter Lab, a pre-incubator launch at the initiative of the Employability and Entrepreneurship Department at HEM. It has a mission to support and guide project leaders wishing to bring their ideas to life and aim for projects with a strong social impact. Students with projects benefit from the support and guidance of expert mentors and professionals in the field. I'm not going to bore you with all these numbers. These are just the achievements of Starter Lab. We have also win-win partnerships with the corporate world and industry to making sure that business partners make themselves available to participate in the various HEM education activities like conferences, last year recruitment simulation interviews, participation in various juries of thesis, participation in our annual job career fair, HEM Career Expo. Uh, and then, of course, comes in the internships. Every student at HEM has to go through at least 5 internships which counts for 44 weeks of work experience through these internships. We have the blue collar internship, the English immersion internship, orientation and information, mission, and pre-employment internship. Some concluding thoughts: the way to go for HEIs is to include appreciating organizational reality in their programs, offering hands-on experience on effective implementation, assisting students to understand the limits of markets and models, integrating diverse issues, implementation, creativity, and innovation, amongst others. And there are several ways to keep your learners, your students abreast with what's happening in the real world. And the only way is to actually create bridges like we mentioned in this presentation. I thank you for your attention and I'm ready for your questions. Thank you.